Hello friends, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use Python scripting to extract data from shapefiles in QGIS. And for this tutorial I'm going to use the airports data, the data of airports all around the world, and I'll give the data link in the description box. And as you can see, I have already downloaded the data in my local computer, and I'm just going to drag this particular shapefile any_10m_airports to my QGIS environment, and the data is imported. The shapefile is imported quite nicely. Now what I'm going to do is to collect some data using Python. So if you go to the plugins tab, you'll see that there is a Python console which we'll going to use, but prior to that I'll use this identify feature tool to understand the features in a particular vector data. So if you click with this eye icon in a particular or in a very random data, you'll see a list of values and features. So if you want to, for example, extract data from these values, for example, you like to collect the airport name and some of the codes like GPS code or IATA code, or what kind of data you desire, you can easily do that by scripting with Python. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you that thing. So what I'm going to do is to open the Python console, and in this console I will use my coding. So if you open the Python console, you can use both this terminal kind of thing and this IDE kind of thing to write your codes. So I can use this environment to write my codes. So first of all, you need to connect with the layer of QGIS so that you can easily interact with the layer. So to connect with the layer, you have to do is to identify a variable. I'm going to name it layer and you can just write this code, iface.active layer. If you run this code, the layer will be activated. Let me just activate the layer through this terminal. Okay, I think our layer is activated. Now we can easily use this layer to kind of extract data of our shapefile. So what Python offers us is a function called dir, or a method called dir. If you call the dir on layer variable, you'll see what kind of functions you are provided with. So you'll see that you can do lots of things with this layer variable according to your need, like actions, add to selection, custom properties. But what we need is a particular thing called get features. I think it's in A, B, C, D, F, G, get geometry, get features. We will use this particular functions, this particular function for our purpose. So we will run a for loop for each feature in layer dot get features, and then I'm going to if you want to show these features in a nutshell, you can print the features just to understand your data or in the shapefile. So when you run this, you see that it's running in the background, and there are lots of attributes, but I think this is not the ultimate target of us. So instead, what we will going to do is taking a bit time here. Instead, what we are going to do is to not print the feature names, but to print some exact data that we are going to need from features. Now, we told when I was pointing towards this feature column and value column here, that we can extract any data from here. So you can, for instance, we can use the name column and GPS code column. So I'm going to use this feature of name, comma, feature of GPS underscore code. So what this code will do is that this will actually drag the data from this shapefile and print it in your console. So this is just to show you the pattern we're going to use later. See, in the left side of your Python console, you are seeing that the name of each airport, for example Benin, for example Del Bazo International Airport, and it has GPS code of MMLO, for example. So this is the kind of operation we can easily do with Python, but our ultimate target is to extract some more data like the geometry values, XY coordinates, and store them in a particular file location in our desktop, so that we can use that later for our purpose. So for that thing, what we're going to do is to use these for loop to actually write our whole code and run that, and after that we'll store this data in a particular file. Okay, then what I'm going to do is to complete the for loop, and for that I need geometric data. So I write geom equals to f dot geometry fit dot geometry, because our variable in our iterator in the for loop is fit dot geometry, and then print. So we will print multiple things in the at this time, but prior to that I'm going to add a bit of code to write our file in the file location. In this case I'm going to use the file location as my desktop. So my desktop location is users slash shape safe slash desktop. Desktop slash, I'm going to name this as airport data dot txt. And as this file is now empty, we'll write a W command to write something, and then we will say as file. This is a standard Python code to write something in a file, and after that you can just copy and paste this for loop underneath this with command. So this code, what this code will do is that first of all it will open a file and write something. So what it will write is it will be executed in the for loop, and then it will be written in the file. Okay, so geom, just let's correct the indentation with geometry, and okay, so the kinds of lines we want to write in this file, I will provide the line here. So let's use string formatting here, comma, maybe I have to give the full stop, comma, comma. So for the XY coordinate, I am going to round them to 2 decimal places. For that I am using this 2f.2f command that will round them to 2 places, and then a new line. The /n means a new line, and then I am going to use the format command to input the names. Let me enlarge the console a bit. So feature of, I'm going to use name, and then I'm going to use the GPS code, and then I'm going to use geom, yeah, geom dot, I have to add another thing called s point dot y for latitude, and geom dot s point, the p will be in uppercase, point dot x for longitude. Is it okay? I think it's okay. Let's pray that there is no error, but we are still something left, and that is to add these lines to my file. Right, file.write, this was my file, and here I will write something, and these writings will be my lines generated from this line command. Okay, so I think this is all. I can run this command. Oh, this is saying invalid syntax. So what's wrong? What's wrong with my code? Maybe there is something. I can dot format, invalid syntax. Let me fix that by checking all the necessary thing, because like other environments like VS Code or Jupyter Notebook, it's not showing any error message. Let me debug it by saying the line, comma, comma, \n dot format feed name. Okay, here I have missed one quotation mark to complete the string. Let me give those strings. I think now it's going to run quite well. So I think it's okay now. It's a line. Let me check. So here now you can see my code ran successfully, so I can just go to my desktop and check either my file was created. You can see here airport underscore data is created, and you can see I have my airport names separated with comma, and then my after the comma there is GPS code, and there is Y coordinate and X coordinate. So this is kind of comma separated file, or you can convert this file to easily this file to a CSV file. Comma delimited formats will be easily done through this file. So now you can easily access this file, and I think we are done with this short tutorial, and you can see how we can easily use Python scripting to extract data from QGIS. And in the upcoming videos we'll also discuss about some of the other Pythonic ways of automating things in QGIS. Up until then, bye.